Hello YouTube, today we're going to be playing some GoldenEye for the n64, or rather I'll be playing it on an emulator. This game is really fun to play. You might remember there was a video on YouTube called the top 10 hardest levels in GoldenEye, and it was made by some guy by the name of Beyond God of Everything. Come to find out, my channel got suspended for false flagging. I don't know what happened, but I'm just redoing everything. So this is going to be like a let's play of agent mode, all 20 levels, and I'm going to show you kind of like how to beat this game really easily and fast, and kind of like point out some cool things with the game. So I will be doing secret agent, double agent at some point, but right now I'm just going to kind of focus on easy mode and kind of focus with it. So this is with all the characters unlocked, but this is the Japanese version. The Japanese version is actually a lot easier than the English version, because even on double agent mode, if you play the English version, like there's some levels where they have body armors, but all the body armors that are found in agent mode are there in Japanese mode, all on all the difficulty. So like for example, like if like you took all the body armors that you could find on agent mode, you would find them on double agent mode, and every single one of them is there. None of them are missing, and they're there. Like it's really interesting. It really is. So here's facility. This is kind of sped up a little bit on an emulator. This is like what's funny is this actually plays a lot faster than the game actually plays. This is just like a motion movie. Because if you play that on an emulator, the game would actually not. Now the game's glitching. Like it wouldn't play like it should. It would rather be there instead, which is weird. But yeah, let's get started though. Okay, so obviously GoldenEye has 20 levels in it. I'll show you what to do for the most part. But here's all the cheat codes. Kind of lags a little bit when you open it up. So this is Damn Agent. It's pretty easy. The game kind of starts off with like a flashback. Starts off saying 9 years ago in Russia, or Soviet Russia, pretty much the same thing. So we just start off here. I love how I always thought it was funny over the years that guard is just sitting there, and he doesn't know James Bond is right there until he comes around the corner and shoots him. Some of the things that you really got to watch out for in this game is that there are certain things that can shoot you from a distance and kill you. Now, this doesn't really look like this game is really that hard, but let me tell you something though. This game really gets difficult later on, and there's even some levels on agent mode which really get really difficult. It's crazy. Like, I mean, it's like if anyone's ever played Star Ocean 2 recently. I don't want to spoil the whole game if you haven't played the game, but let's just say that there's a certain character later on that's in the game story that he's like, well, first of all, he takes the record for being like one of the oldest video game bosses I've ever seen. Like, he's like literally old. I won't spoil how old he is, but then at the same time though, it's like there's there's just certain parts in video games that they get better, but then it's like then you have a really hard boss too. So like in the storyline, the guy's like practically one of the greatest villains you've ever seen in a video game. But then at the same time though, it's like he's also one of the hardest to beat, so he lives up to his title, which is really cool. So yeah, here we're bungee jumping off the bridge here. Now if you actually look over in the distance, you can actually kind of see some people say you can see Donkey Kong over there, which is really funny. Even though you can see him like several other locations. It's debatable if that really is Donkey Kong, but a lot of people agree that it is. So here's facility. One level that's probably the most memorable. So in this level you gotta find Dr. Doe. He'll give you a decoder and all this other cool stuff, but we don't need it on agent mode. So we're gonna just fly through it. And I love how like in this level, like later on there's gonna be an area where it would say like no smoking, and they say no James Bonds allowed past this little corner. It's a funny joke that the game designers put in the game. It's got a picture of James Bond holding his silencer right up there. There's a picture of James Bond. No James Bonds allowed. There's half body armors and then there's full body armors. It's kind of funny because some of the halves and the holes, for the most part, there's usually one full body armor and there's one half on each level, but there's usually but in some cases there's actually more. But for the most part, it's usually just that. So anyways, this game really isn't that hard, especially if you're like me and you play this game a lot. Like, I mean, literally a lot. But I play other games too. I play all games. Right now I'm playing through Star Ocean for the PSP, even though I already beat the Super Famicom version. I want to do Let's Plays on this channel, but it's like, you know, the way my position's set up, because my parents are usually home, and, you know, if I go in my room, it's kind of like really close to where it's at, even the door closed, so it's like I can't really, you know, it's really not easy for me to do Let's Plays, let's put it that way. That's the only reason why, you know, I would do Let's Plays, talk all day about these video games, but I'll do them when I can, and believe me, I'll make up for the time. So here we have the easiest level in this entire game. This is like literally, without a doubt, one of the easiest levels in the entire game. So this is this is runway. This is when you're getting out of the facility. And so you just grab that key, and then you just run on a diagonal. Now, the mistake that I've been recently making, and I've never had this happen to me as much when I first played this game, is if you run towards the plane, like kind of like this, you might see those Gatling guns that are over there. They can actually shoot the plane from the other side and destroy it. So you kind of want to give it a little bit of room. And there you go. And then you should be able to have beaten it within a couple, 26 seconds. The best record I've ever gotten, legitly on an emulator, was 24 seconds. But it's the world record. I have gotten a 22 before, but that was on the actual console, and that was with throwing grenades. But that's only if you decide to speed run. And unless you really are serious about speed running, I really wouldn't get into it. It's really, you really got to sacrifice a lot of your time. Now, that's not to say that you can't have fun with it, but you really got to be patient with this kind of stuff. This is a fun game to speedrun, but some people get really competitive in it, and you really got to play this game for years in order to get good at it. So anyways, now we're just running through Surface 1 right now. Now, Surface 1's real easy. You just run all the way to the end where the guards can't see you. But, you know, they'll shoot through the snowbanks. They're not solid objects. That's another thing I want to point out. You know, this game's got some coding in it that's kind of weird. Like, later on, there's going to be, like, guards behind crates and stuff, like Silo, which is level 6 in this case, which we're on level 4, if you didn't know. And they can shoot through, like, they can shoot through some of the walls. Some of the things I also want to point out, some of the death animations that some of the guards have, like, you can, like, if they fall down, like, real slowly, like, they can use it as a meat shield. Like, for example, for some reason, the walls in this game, like, the enemies can shoot through them, but you can't, like, to some degree. And I'll show you what I mean, like, once we, yeah, there's another weird glitch. I don't know how that got stuck there, but that's not an emulator glitch. Usually that falls. So, here's another really short level. Here's Bunker 1. Yeah, I know, you can fly through these levels really easily. Some of these levels can be beaten within seconds. So here's the camera. You don't have to get rid of the cameras, but it helps to get rid of them. There's 2 body armors on this level. There's no body armors on Surface 1 either. Runway has no body armors either. There's only 3 levels in this game that have no body armors. Those first 2 levels, and then there's one more that's coming up like much later on. It's going to be the last level that has no body armors, but it's probably one of the harder levels too. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, then here we go with. It's funny how this is Boris. He looks like Harry Potter. No joke. No joke. So there's 2 body armors on this level. One of them's over here. You just grab that, and there you go. Yeah, you really don't need to worry about killing these guards. Problem is, though, it's like the pausing animation seems to get in the way sometimes. Yeah, he's dead. I don't have to worry about him. So take a few pictures, and there you go. Well, you're only got to take one, but the one on the left always attacks first. The one on the right doesn't seem to notice you until after you kind of walk by. So if you're gonna, that's an example that those guards can shoot through that wall. They won't even come down, like, unless you wait for them, sort of. So here's another level, Silo. Silo is probably one of the most linear levels in the game. There's another level. There's a couple more of them coming up that are super linear like this, but they don't have a time limit like this one does. In Agent mode, there is no time limit. In Secret Agent, it's 7.5 minutes. In Double Agent, it's 8.5 minutes. But you know, you really don't need 8 minutes to beat this. There's you know, the world records are like 2.5 minutes, maybe even less. But that's after so many runs. Well, you don't have to collect those key cards either. those. What I like to do is, instead of using like the KF7, I like to just drain all the PP7 ammo, at least up until you get past this room and the next one, because later on you will, yeah, you watch out for those crates. Those things can blow up too. And these guys can randomly throw grenades. I think it's like a 1 in 24 chance of it happening, but it's very. So like that death animation right there. If you were shooting this guy still, his bullets would not go through him, no matter, even if you shot him with the power. You know, well, I guess of course if you use like an RCP-90, if you know what that is, then you know, the bullets will go right through them. But for the most part, though, when you shoot a guard, their bullets will stop in their body, but the other enemies can shoot through them. But it's like they're not using power weapons, though, if that makes sense. They're not using weapons that. Like this KF7, like if I shoot this guy, I gotta literally wait until his body is gone, or like he's not in the way, so he doesn't absorb the bullets like a meat shield. However, the guards can shoot through them, and they're using the same guns in this case. So you just gotta kind of wait for them, you know, or what you could do is you could just have them come to you instead. The second body armor is right behind that door. It's the first half. There should be another one coming up here. So we'll just run through these guys. Now keep in mind, the more bullets you shoot off, if you shoot one at a time, the guards won't notice you, but if you shoot like 3 bullets off at a time, the guards will be alerted, and they'll be like, oh, we gotta check this out. So, so snap that. Because only Snapshot from Progressive can save you time and Monday. It's like, you don't sound like Flo. It's like, yeah, I do. Okay, so anyways. Yeah, just run past those guards. Just make sure those explosions don't hit you either, because the explosions on the difficulties can really make a difference, and they can really kill you. It's crazy, but it does happen. So here's another really short level. This is Frigate. Big ship. You might remember in the movie how you know, the French fleet was overtaken by Xena and some other helicopter pilot, and they stole the pirate copter. Here. But really all we got to do is this. So we got to kill this guy, free this hostage. Now what's really interesting about these hostages, some people don't know this, but the hostages will not move until the guy the way the game's programmed, they will not move until the guy that was really by him. But if you shoot the guy who is holding the hostages, but you don't kill the hostage, hold on a second. Okay, like I was saying, game crashed. I don't know why this game crashes. It's weird. Like, you know, emulators, yeah, they're not the console, but you know, you'd be surprised. Like, I mean, until you start playing games on emulators, you really don't see how significantly different a game can be on an emulator or a console. It's really, really confusing how difficult that really is. But anyways, but like what I was saying though, you know, like some of these levels, like, I mean, you really don't know how different these games are programmed. Like, for example, Perfect Dark crashes on the same emulator, but it doesn't ever crash during the gameplay. It only crashes like when the game goes from one level to the next. Like when you you get the mission complete screen, or if you die or you fail to start over, the game can randomly crash right there, and then you'd have to so like the music will still be playing, but the game will decide to crash, and you have to go through it again. So that's rather interesting. Now I find this really funny. What's coming up? What's funny is, you know, James Bond comes back to Surface 1. Now there was a key on Surface 1 that you had to get to the safe room. And what's funny is the Russians decided to put the same guard that holds the next key to the other room to get into the satellite to destroy it, and they put the same guard in the same hut, but they just put a surveillance vehicle in there. And this is pretty much just revisiting the exact same spot where that you were in the original game. So I think it's funny how this works. So we're gonna go in here. We're going to blow this all up, and then we're just going to leave. Do not activate it, otherwise it'll fail the mission. So now we just run all the way over to the exit, and we're done. So Klobs are, some people say they're really useless, but I think they're the best weapon in the game, guys. Look at all those weapons. Look at all the ammo. And it's funny how the KF7 looks like a giant black pencil, like a colored pencil. Like literally, like it literally looks like you could take that and draw something with it. It's funny. So yeah, that level's easy. Now here's another really easy level. This is you can actually beat this within a minute and 30 seconds. The world record, I believe, is like 23 seconds. It's actually very, very useful. So anyways, what you want to do is you want to slap this guy, open Natalia's door. You want to hurry up and get over here before the door closes. Kill the guards that are in the way. Okay, don't worry about the guard that has... Okay, now there's guards on here that have clubs, but the guy we need to kill this guy and get his card key. That will open the door that's over here, and then we can finally leave. Now, don't worry about the guards because they're not really that too big of a deal. They just leave right here, and there you go. There's another example that they can shoot through that wall again. It's weird, like they have to go up those stairs, but they're actually shooting through the door. It's really crazy. So anyways, now here we have another good example of another confusing level. This is a statue. Now, this level doesn't really have that many guards on it. Oh man, the green crashed again. Oh, that's really weird. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna start over again. I don't know why it crashes. It's like it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in an emulator. I mean, I love this game, I do, but it seems like, you know, the way it crashes, it's just I still can't figure it out. You know, it can't be the game. Or maybe it is like certain parts of the game that, you know, crashes. Because I mean, it's crashed on certain levels, but it was always during the gameplay. You know what I mean? That's the thing about GoldenEye. That's why you want to play this as fast as you can, like sort of. You don't really want to wait too long. You really just want to kind of fly through it as fast as you can. Now, unlike in the English version, if you actually talk to Valentine and then let him leave after Objective A says it's completed, you can kill him. But in the Japanese version, they fixed this. So, you know, you don't want to kill Valentine at all, so, you know, obviously you don't want to. So after this comes up, yeah, I know, I can read Japanese too. This game's pretty much the exact same thing as the English version. Like as far as the story goes, it's not like they really censored anything or left anything out. I mean, because this is based off the movie. But at least in this case, this game is actually really good. So yeah, now we're going to go over here. Now, Alec is going to come, and this is when you find out that Alec is Janice. Now, in the movie, what was really interesting was when Alec came, he didn't really come with any of his friends, like his bodyguards. He really just kind of came by himself for the most part. And then then he had someone knock James out, you know, so yeah, he kind of did have his friends. But they didn't come out with him at the same time. They just kind of went behind him, and you know, Alec distracted James and told him that, you know. So, you know, think of it like this. I always thought Alec Trevelyan was actually a real interesting James Bond villain. I mean, I know people say he's not the best one, but I actually thought it was pretty cool that, you know, like for one of the James Bond villains. Because, I mean, you know, he decides to, like, he had this master plan that he got, like, it's got terrorism involved, and it's got, you know, bankruptcy. So pretty much what he was going to do was, you know, his revenge plot to get back at the British government was that, you know, his, like, if you were to read that speech back there, he would say that, like James would say, he's like, I thought I trusted you, Alec. He's like, and then Alec would say, well, trust can be misplaced. He said, my parents trusted the MI6 that they would, you know, that they would never be betrayed and they would feel safe or something like that. And then he said, but they lied to him. He's like, every single one of them lied. And he calls them a bunch of Cossack traitors. And so he said, I will have my revenge, like, sort of. So what he plans on doing is he decides to bankrupt England, sort of. And then he also plans on destroying London with a laser-firing satellite called a goldeneye. And thanks to Russian... Wow, it crashed again. Hold on a second. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, you know, it's an awesome plot if you think about it. The game did crash, but it's okay. So anyways, what's really interesting is if you set off any... You don't want to fire any shots, because if you do, then there will be so many guards that it will magically spawn in that room. But they will not. But if you just slap those two guys to death, And what's funny is, even before the text box comes up that says, "So, Mr. Bond, what do you know about the thief of the goldeneye?" you can actually one-hit kill both of those guards. Or if you slap one of them dead, the one that's on the right always has the key. So here's another thing you gotta kind of watch out for. Gotta make sure that Michigan doesn't get slapped, and he did. But what's funny is Michigan, you don't actually have to save Michigan on this mission. I'm actually surprised I didn't just run for the exit. I forgot I'm playing on Agent. I'm so used to playing on Secret Agent, Double Agent. So really, I didn't really even have to quit that mission. I could actually have. Okay, so here's a fun trick. If you go in here, here's the half body armor. There you go. So you just got to rescue Natalia, and the game crashed again. This is getting old. Okay, don't pause. See, what's funny is, you know, I've tried this trick before, where like if you try pausing the game during the when the game crashes, the definition of a game crashing is usually justified by like the game not. It won't even save. So like, you know, you could save state it to the emulator and try and reload it, see if like maybe it would, but it doesn't. It's corrupted data essentially is what it is. So you have to reset the emulator to renew the. And believe me, this game does not crash this much. I have no idea why it's doing this. It's really something even I couldn't figure out. But anyways, now that guard, if there's a guard that stands in one spot and they're not shooting their gun at you, then they're pulling out a grenade. So you gotta kind of get out of the way when that happens. Okay, so there's Natalia. I'll go back this way. Okay, there we go. We're done. So now we have another real easy level. Here's Streets for the. Here's level 12. Streets is pretty easy. It's you might remember in the movie where James Bond was trying to rescue Natalia from. I'm trying to think. What was her name? Almovar and they ran down the street, but he had a tank instead. What's funny is in the actual game, James Bond can actually outrun a tank, if that makes sense. I'm not sure how fast tanks move in real life, but that's pretty funny though if you think about it. If that's true, it's like hey, it's like James Bond has a sprint race with the tank and actually wins. There's actually 4 body armors on this whole level, but you know what? These rockets are never easy to. He blew himself up. How about that? That's usually hard to do. It's usually to shoot the rocket in their face. Usually that never happens. I'm not kidding you. That was actually pretty cool that I actually managed to pull that off when I did. Because usually when you play video games, you try to pull stuff like that off the time. Okay, so if you hear that noise, that means a rocket's coming. And it's not. And these guys never usually have them. Oh, I can't believe I shot him. No, he blew himself up. No, somebody blew him up. Okay, here's another body armor. These are all full body armors. There's 4 full body armors on this whole level. There's this street divides multiple times, but there's now we're going to a disabandoned military or abandoned military base, and there's going to be all these body armors laying around. I think there's 12 of them on this level. You really don't need any of them, and this level is actually real easy on Agent Mode. All you got to do is run to the train, and I'll show you how to get there. But there's body armor right behind there. There's probably 4 of them like scattered around in this little area. And there's one in there. There's another one in here. 2 of them over there. One of them behind here. One over there. One over there. One behind those crates. There's another one, and then there's one more in here. I mean, I know I missed a few of them by telling you where they're at, but my point is they're pretty much just scattered over this whole level area. Let me just put it up. There we go. So it's picked up body armor. Get on the train. Alright, so the train level, everybody's. This is probably. Okay, this is the last level in the game that has no body armors on it. This level is not that hard, but you really got to make sure you pay attention to what you're doing. Because, I mean, this level is really. I mean, as stupid as it may sound, I mean, it is possible that you can still die on this level on Agent Mode. This is one of those levels that, you know, if you're just having, like, some sort of a good run for the enemies, they will kill you fast, man. It might not look like it's really that difficult. Fun fact, here's an RCP-90 if you didn't know this. This is only here on agent mode. If you try this, you know, on the later difficulties, you'll get a DD44, which is one of the loudest guns in the game. But so yeah, this isn't really too bad. So if you just kind of stand here and shoot all these guards, you can actually kill them before they come close. Now, this is when it really kind of gets easy. This is like just a good example. Don't let the guards, don't come to the guards, let the guards come to you. Just kind of stand here and just shoot this gun. And then turn around, because then there's going to be a guy that comes up. Now, sometimes this guy will come out up here. It says the room is locked. Unless, of course, the bullets went through the door. But there it is. Because, I mean, again, it's like a weird glitch, but like sometimes like the guards will come out when they shouldn't, maybe because they hear the loud noises, but not all the time though. Sometimes the game does what it's programmed to do, and they're supposed to stay in the wall that they're in. So here's going to be these guards. There's 2 of them in here. Kill them. Okay, so he's dead. He's dead. Okay, now what you gotta do is wait here. Just keep firing until one of them comes out. Okay, now there's just kill every single one of these guys, and there we go. Okay, so we're gonna shoot this guy right here. We're gonna turn around, blow this up. Okay. Kill him, kill him. Okay, now shoot Xena in the back. Okay, well you gotta shoot Alec first. Not Alec, but... Now, you know what's funny is, when I first played this game, I never really beat this on double agent mode. Because I never really owned this game. This was kind of like something I just played at my uncle's and my aunt's when they had it, because everybody had a copy of this game. And this game sold like 8 million copies when it first came out. But on double agent mode, I really would like to know how many people really would have guessed that shooting Xena was mandatory in order to get past. I mean, sure, yeah, there's a glitch where you can bypass this, but how many people would honestly know how to do that? You know, I mean, that's probably one of the most cryptic things I've seen in any game. Killing Xena or shooting Xena just to the point where, you know, she'll. I mean, if it wasn't for the internet, how many people would only know that? I sure as heck would. But anyways, here we go in the jungle, level 15 in this case. This is when we're in Cuba. This is where we get to kill Xena. But Xena's not until halfway through this level, so we're not going to worry about this right now. So, Natalia, this is actually ironically when Natalia is like really, really useful. Oh yeah, save your handgun ammo. I recommend saving it, because later on you'll get another RCP-90 from Xena, but you have to first of all get there. And these AR-33s are actually, which is assault rifles. These are American brand, from what I understand. If they're not based off the American assault rifle. I'm not really a guns expert, but I can tell you for a fact though that I always thought it was pretty cool how they give off like that shine through the barrel. Like as soon as you shoot them, there's all these sparks that come out of it. You see like the sparking animation. It's pretty cool. So obviously on an emulator you can see the guards way better than you can on the original console. So it's funny how you try and shoot that just to get these guys out of the way and it doesn't work. And Natalia will kill all these guys in one hit. It's funny because like in the movie Natalia didn't know how to use a gun. She was kind of scared a little bit. But in this game she can actually kill the guards for you. Well, she's more useful than she is on control. It's funny how that works. And she'll say things too, like, oh, who was that guy? Or, oh, that's a nice plant. What a loser. Just like in the movies. She'll say all these random things when she kills somebody. And sometimes the dialogue comes up when she doesn't even kill somebody, or vice versa, like after, and it's like, it's kind of delayed. Now Xena, sometimes she won't even come until after you cross over that bridge. I have no idea why. I always thought it was like some sort of lag or something. But essentially, if you're good at this, you can actually kill her before she comes over this bridge. And there you go. That's how you do it. Now, again, you'll get 20 rounds on agent mode, but You want to make sure you have all your handgun ammo so you can use the RCP. Because the RCP-90 is pretty awesome in this case. This gun is really useful. It's gonna blow up the security drones, and we just go escort Natalia to Janice's base, and we're good. Watch out. Now, there's a ladder over there, but sometimes you want to get these infinitely respawning guards over here that die, so you don't have to worry about this. Guards that are all up there on this. Just take all their ammo so that way you have more ammo. Yeah, that's also known as it's called a door warp. You can also do it with ladders instead of climbing all the way up them. If you actually create a little bit of lag by switching between weapons, you can actually skip all the way up to the ladder. It's really cool. Alright, so coming up is going to be the next crazy level in this game, unless this game crashes. So there we go. Okay, so here we have control. One level everybody hates, for obvious reasons. And this level is a good example that even on agent mode you can still die real easily. But I'm not going to because I know what I'm doing. So why everybody hates this level? It's obviously protecting Natalia, but it's not protecting Natalia that's hard to do. It's really it can be random. It can be easy, it can be hard. And especially on Secret Agent and Double Agent. And not to mention, depending on if you decide to blow up the mainframes in the right order, like before you protect Natalia, there's a glitch you can also use to do it before. It's a really cool speedrun trick. But some people, they've played this game to the point where they try to, no joke, they tried to do it, and there's one room in particular where there's security drones, and then you'll have all these infinitely respawning guards, and you wouldn't even know how to get rid of how to deal with all these guys unless somebody showed you. So yeah, these guys will throw bombs and blow themselves up, and guys will never miss, and stupid crap like this. So they usually get one or two hits sometimes, but for the most part you can just run through them and they won't even hit you. They'll miss every time. So after that, we're almost in the center of the room. I'm going to show you what you got to do, and we got to protect Natalia for 2 minutes, and then we're done, and then we're just out of here, and hopefully the game won't crash. So yeah, start with these floors. You can actually detonate remote mines using A and B, or you can use the actual detonator, which is the watch. There's Harry Potter again. It's now he's off to the world of Hogwarts. He's off to the magical world of Hogwarts. He's gonna go fight Snape. And Professor Gutentag. If anybody knows who that is. Probably not. He's from a game called Freaky Flyers. He's probably one of the best characters I've seen in any video game, but he's from a game that you've probably never heard of. It was a game made by Midway in 2003-2004 for PS2, and it's a fun game. Pagliacci, legendary crime boss. It's I'm not a crime boss. I'm just a small businessman. It's Sammy Wasabi. I'm trying to think who was Sammy Wasabi? What did the game say about him? The Kamikaze Express is a mortal functional. He's a guy from Japan or Asia, and he builds this machine that's so powerful it had to be sent to the moon, and the robot was so harmless it's hilarious. He's he was a good robot. But anyways, that was the one room that you had to get through in order to get to that one part. So anyways, hopefully this will go well. Don't destroy the one in the middle there. destroy this one. You don't have to do this, but it makes it a lot easier. And oh no, the continents! What are they going to do now that their mainframe's gone? So these glasses right here will randomly break from time to time. And it's random when it is. There's really no way to tell. You can actually blow up the other mainframe. I forgot to do, but maybe we can do it on the way back. So like they immediately spawn the second that alarm goes off. So you hear that air. That actually, it's supposed to represent 1 second in the game. It's supposed to do that 120 times or somewhere around there. And what ends up happening is after that's all done and over with, you will be surprised that the Natalia say that we're done here. There you go. So after she protects where's the guards? Okay. Just kill them before they come down the ladder, because the ones with hats will go for James Bond, the ones that don't, they'll only go for Natalia. So obviously you want to kill these guys as fast as possible, but then they'll immediately respawn too. But hey, killing them on the ladder is going to be your best guess, because then that way you don't have to worry about them getting in your way. Here's the guys again. And I love how Natalia says, she's like, James, could you be quiet? She's like, I'm trying, I can barely hear myself. And like she doesn't know that, you know, these guards are just coming out of nowhere. It's funny. So these guards aren't really that hard to kill. And we're almost done. Okay, there goes the other glass. It's usually random when it happens. It's never the same. Okay. Okay, so now Natalia is going to go back to the elevator. Now, here's the thing. Natalia can go back to the elevator all she wants, but this game can still, you can get to the elevator you're supposed to, and unless objective A goes up, and you're not paying attention, you can actually fail this level. So we got to go in here. So kill these guards. There's a second body armor right there, full one. Don't grab it yet. See, objective A just came up. Saying I completed. Now we can go to the elevator. So we go through this level, through this elevator. Kill this guy. There's a guard right here. Alec will be shooting at you from the other side of the level. And there we go. We beat Control on agent mode. Okay. So next level is Caverns on the agent mode. Now Caverns is actually another real easy level. This level's actually, you can actually race Alec to the end, and you can actually skip the whole level. I'm not sure if you want to call it a glitch, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you what the card keys are, and pick those up, and you're done. You really only need 2 of 3 of them, but essentially. So the guys with blue hats obviously have body armors. The guys with red hats don't necessarily have it. There's guys with purple hats too. Oh my god. So yeah, you just got to kill these guys. Not a hard level, not a hard game. Surprised that weapon didn't auto-miss. Okay, there's another guard. So, you know, the guards are well positioned, but at the same time, though, if you make noise, they'll come running to you and actually get them to open doors for you. Now, these are all Janus special units, so they will not miss. And well, I mean, they're supposed to be his bodyguards, but even in the movie, I mean, James Bond did not have to kill this many guards. It's funny how that works. You'll have more guards in the games than you'll have in the actual movie. But anyways, we're almost to the end. All we got to do is just kill. See, you find Alec running. Now, don't shoot Alec. He's invincible. You're not going to be able to kill him anyways. But it's just supposed to be like, you know, you're just chasing him. And show you, like, some of the guards will come on around this way instead of going the other way. So now what you want to do is just take out the AR, because it's got more ammo and all that. You're going to get another RCP-90 coming up here, and it's probably for the best if you hold on to that, because you don't want to lose that either. Alright, so the card keys are coming up right ahead. You just got to get to the end of this level. That's all you got to do, on agent mode at least. So what you got to do is you got to kill this guard. He's going to die. Now all we got to do is kill this guy. Now the way this game works is you can actually shoot this glass, shoot the upper half, and you'll get the other guards to come running in here. And they will. The guy that has the AR-30. So the guy has an RCP-90. There's also a guard right there with blue hat. I don't know why these guards are always going to run in a position where you can't run past them, but you know, the guy that's standing right here, he's got another code key. I think where he's at, where he died at. So he should have picked it up. And then we'll just run all the way over here. And that second half body armor's in that other room. You don't really need it. Oh, back there anyways. But so there's going to be a lot of guards in here, but you know, if you get their attention. There's a security drone right there, but if you can just destroy it, then you can just run over there and open this door. And, you know, you don't really need to kill these guards at all. You can just kind of put your back against the wall and kill all of them when they decide to show up. The other card key that's over there would be for that door that's down there. There's a guard. There's only one guard in that room that has a blue hat, and he's got it. So yeah, now we're gonna just destroy this. Yep, destroyed it. Security drone. The bullets will still go through Alec, but they won't even slow him down. And obviously he turns invisible as he runs against the elevator. Okay, now here's the last level, control, or cradle. So there's actually 4 body armors on this level, if I'm not mistaken. 2 of them which you have to really backtrack to get, and the game just crashed. See, that's what I hate about these emulators. But you know, if you play it on an actual console, though, it still crashes somehow. Like I mean, to a degree. I mean, there's moments where, like, I guess if the pins in the cartridge aren't really in good shape, like the game can still crash. So, anyways, so okay, we're gonna do it again, and this is gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here really quick and grab that body armor. That all the body armors right here are present on all difficulties. So yeah, you just want to keep firing until you kill that guard over there, because he'll fire at you. Now, keep in mind, all the guards will not fire in this game if they don't have a straight shot. So the guards, like on this level, for example, they will not shoot at you if they don't have a straight shot. Now, here's a cool trick I'm going to show you if I can get this to work. Kill him. Now, Alex should throw a grenade. He should be able to see me still, and he'll kill himself. It doesn't always work. Probably not there. So he's not there. Now here's the thing. These guards are as random as it gets. Like, I mean, this doesn't really look like it's a big deal, but some of these guards are like, they're well positioned, and they'll spawn like not too far from you, but they'll be like right in front of you. Now, if you keep Alec down there, you can actually shoot him with a headshot and all that, and like, he won't hit you. He won't even try to hit you. Like, he'll point his gun at you like he's going to do something, but he's not going to, for the most part. So you can actually beat this relatively easily and fast. But if he runs up here, then... So he'll go from one place to the next, and as long as you can shoot him one time, but it'll only count one bullet per shot. Well, I think we got him. Okay, yeah, so now he's going to run all the way to the end. You can't shoot him until after he gets to the bottom, and you can't shoot him until after a couple seconds go by. Or just like that. So now he's going to die. Now what's really interesting is, despite the fact that he might have died, those other guards can catch up, and if they do, they can fall down that ladder and shoot at you, and then they can knock you right off that cliff. It's really stupid. So that's the ending. So GoldenEye is not really a hard game, but it's really like, you just got to know how these levels are programmed, because like some of these levels, like if it's not the enemy accuracy that kills you super fast, it could be just how difficult the game is. But I mean, again, the game's not difficult, like you won't be able to beat it like it's impossible, but it can kill you fast if you don't know how to play it. And you really got to play it if you want to beat this. Perfect Dark's even worse, but you know, we'll get to Perfect Dark in a few minutes. I'm gonna play that. It's gonna be a fun game. I had to beat that game on agent mode all the way from start to finish. So thanks for watching. Should comment, rate, subscribe, favorite, share this video. We're not done yet. I still got 2 levels after this. This is Aztec and Gyptian are coming up. Now, as hard as Aztec can be, it's actually not that difficult. I mean, for me, it's not. I've played the heck out of Aztec, and for the most part, it's pretty easy. For me, at least. Now, what's also really interesting about GoldenEye is they actually included, some people don't know this, but you might remember how they had Mayday and Odd Job in this game. But there was actually supposed to be other levels from other characters that were supposed to be in this game. For example, I mean, you might be familiar with the All Bonds cheat code where they try to get like permission from like Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and I forget the other 2. Hiroshi Yamauchi. Yeah, I hope he's doing well. Whatever happens when we die, man, I feel bad that he passed away when he did. Him and Satoru Iwata, man, they were awesome. I mean, they're all awesome. You know, that message should be crossed out. Instead of saying James Bond will return, it should say Hiroshi Yamauchi will return. It's like, I want him back. Go to the afterlife if there is one and demand that he comes back. So anyways, yeah, this is showing all the characters. Now, what's funny is this is in the game's programming, but there's a lot of female characters in this game aside from Natalia, Xena, and they never made it to the actual. Despite the fact you can play them in multiplayer, they're not actually in the original game nowhere to be found. They're all male characters. It's kind of funny. Funny how that works. And it's pretty cool. And so anyways, this is all, I mean, there's also like, you know, they took like all the characters, like their faces, and put them on James Bond's suit, but you can't get those by, you can only do that by cheating, but then when you leave multiplayer, you got to enter the code in again, or if you turn the game off, it resets. So yeah, now we're gonna go and play some. So now we're gonna go and play some. Okay, so there's Aztec runts. Again, it's funny how there's male and females, but there's no females to be found in the game. The actual main game. So there's Jaws. There's Odd Job. It's funny how he's short in the game, but he's not short in the movie. And no, I'm not making fun of short people. I actually respect them for their height. It's not their fault that they are the way they are. So anyways, here we have Aztec. This is probably the hardest level in the game. I don't know. It's usually a toss-up between Control and this, because Control seems to... it's weird. I won't die on this level as much, but I'll die on Control sometimes because of bad luck. But the game just crashes. So yeah, kill him first. Sometimes there's a good example of that right there. Like that one guy was slow, but the enemy accuracy is like so fast. Yeah. So yeah, really fast enemy accuracy. But I'm just gonna get rid of the guard. You gotta get rid of these guards over here. I think it's already dead. Really good. So there's another guard. He's gonna shoot at you. So he's dead. Now, these guards have a lot of grenades, but it's real easy to get around this. So you're gonna shoot him dead, and you're gonna come over here, get these guys to come. Make sure the other guards don't see you, but sometimes they can hear you, and sometimes they won't. Like sometimes they're always stopped where they're at, but they'll. It's weird. Sometimes they won't even come up to you. Like I mean, like that for example. Like they will not come up to you. Sometimes they'll like literally stay where they're at, even if you fire like multiple rounds off. It's weird. Okay. Let's do it. We should blow these up. Now there's one body armor here, so you got to swing over here really fast. There's going to be some guards coming over here too, but... Okay. So that was actually very well. I'm actually surprised I got it that fast. So, okay, what you want to do is you got to kill these guards. Okay, there's a couple guards that are in there. They will not come out at you as soon as... So you want to make all this noise to try and get their attention. But there's a security drone up there. So you gotta figure out... You gotta kill these guards, but you gotta really get these guys out of here, though. So, yeah. Okay. So if you shoot over here, then the other guy will hear you finally. Like, I'll just get rid of 30 rounds, and then this other guy will be like, what the hell? And he'll come running out if he hasn't already. There he is. So, now you want to kill him dead. You want to get rid of the security drone. There you go. I was wondering if he was still alive. Sometimes, you know. Yeah, those guys will never move. You got to kill them physically by yourself. Okay, so now here's the hardest part. Okay, now take the AR-34, or 33. Now, I understand that, you know, the laser has infinite ammo and it's technically more powerful, and it is, but, you know, the AR-34 can actually shoot a lot faster despite its limited ammunition. So you want to kill all these guards, and then as soon as Jaws comes up over here, make sure that other guy didn't see him. You should be able to shoot him dead before he comes over here. So he's going to come up, and you can actually run up to him, and like you can actually go right through him. I don't know why the fucking AI is not. So yeah, sorry about that, but anyways, you know, it's weird. Like, you can literally run up to him, and like his weapons will go right through you, but somehow it didn't work there. It's kind of hard to tell, like, you know, how close you really got to be, but sometimes it works, and I mean it works sometimes, but not all the time. You know? I guess maybe it's my fault for not being too close, but I don't know. It's really hard to tell, like, you know, how close you really got to be. Gotta open that up. Okay. So now, hopefully they'll spawn in just that room. And don't kill those laser guards. You can actually run past them, and they'll run after you. But by the time you get to the other end here and do this, if done correctly, of course, then you can just say you beat the Aztec level real easily. So it has been uploaded, and here we go. So now we got lasers. So now we just wait a few seconds, wait until that opens up, and then we're done. Now we're just going to do Aztec, or we're going to do they're down there. They'll shoot at you if they can, but they'll try. You can't blow up that console either, which is funny because it's indestructible, but all the other ones in the game aren't. So now we go to Gyptian, and despite how ridiculously easy this level is, I mean, it's literally as easy as it gets. I mean, it's funny. I mean, it literally is. Like, Aztec is, like, difficult, but you'd expect this level to be a little bit harder, but no, I'll show you why it's not as hard as it looks. So the golden gun, well, figuring out this maze is probably the hardest part. So you're just going to run on diagonal, and that's not working. See, this is something you know, it's not like I'm making this up. I swear, like, sometimes you will run on the right path, and sometimes the game will not register it. Like, sometimes it will act like you missed it somehow. And I'm only keeping it in this video because I want to point this out. Like, you know, there really is, I mean, yeah, you can look it up on the internet, like what the exact steps are, but sometimes when you step on them, I don't know, it just looks like you're not really stepping on the wrong one, and then you just run across like this. There you go. So you kind of got to do that. Like the second time I did that, you got to do that. It'll be alright to do that. So you got to kill this guy named Baron Sadami. Because obviously he's a remaster. Okay, now this guy is not that hard to kill. Especially now that you got the golden gun. You got to watch out for these ZMG guards. I mean, these kind of killed him before he could even move. So now he's going to spawn in a spot where like you wouldn't really guess where he's at. But you really just got to kind of play around with the game's going. There's two ways to get there. You can take this path or you can go the other way. Watch out for these ZMG guards. They'll spawn right in front of you, and it's stupid. Yeah, he'll fire his gun like several times. Like sometimes he'll pause for a few seconds, and then he'll just shoot a bunch of shots. Like, and if you're like in the way, like he'll just kill you instantly. It's ridiculous. So there you go. That's how you'd finish that off, and hopefully that works. But again, Secret Agent and Double Agent to come some other time. But as of right now, hopefully you enjoyed this video, because I know I sure did.